YouTube. Next week I won't. Oh, I won't be. Yes. Okay. So everybody, um, today is the day that we talk about. Oh, wait, hold on. And there I am. Let's see. What if I played it? Okay, so there I am. I'm live on YouTube. Excuse me, everybody. I just had to make sure I did that. Okay, so the idea here is that I will be live today. And on the 13th, I'm also going live on the 13th, but I won't be available on the 20th. So next Sunday, I will be live, but on the 20th, I'll have to reschedule it because I won't be available. I'll be in Ghana. So anyway, welcome everybody in YouTube world. If you're joining me on YouTube, you can be able to join us in the Zoom by texting the word love, LOVE, to 87948. And for everybody, you can follow me on Instagram at Coaching with Dr. Alicia. And if you want recordings of dozens and dozens of videos that I've done on how to be an adult in relationships, the 5 keys to mindful loving. If you're just coming in the middle of this and you're like, wait, hold on, she's on chapter 7. What happened to chapter 1 through 6? If you want to get the recordings, let me put the link in the chat. Lord, you would think I'd have it ready, but I don't, of course. Okay, so here's the link to go live. Let me put it into YouTube world. Here it is in YouTube. I will put it in there. And so you can get the recordings by going to draliciabookclub.com/inner circle. That gives you access to all of the recordings. Let me put it in here. I will put it into make it available for everyone here. Yes. Okay. So there it is. If you want the recordings, if you want to catch up on what we're doing. Also, there's a lot of bonus material in there. I taught this class on child development and last year, and I ended up, when I was teaching this class, I ended up recording all of the lectures. So there's lectures on child development, attachment, which a lot of this information is based on attachment theory, Winnicott and attachment theory. So it's there for you. And again, I see some of y'all coming in here. Welcome, everybody. Tamara, hey, how you doing? Jen, how you doing? Winetta, how you doing? I haven't heard from you lately, Winetta. Rakita, how you doing? Artery, oh my gosh, these are all the regular folks. Y'all get your homework? Is your homework done? Anybody process a regretful situation? Anybody? Anybody process regret? Sharif, how you doing? We all have regret. Man, I have so many regrets. Things that happen. There's so many cringing moments in my life where I'm like, gosh, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Why did I make that decision? What was I thinking? If I knew then what I know now, I would have done things so differently. And it's more than just like waking up in the middle of the night going, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. The thing is that you really need to take time to kind of process it. Have some compassion for yourself, number one, but also be able to say, okay, in that moment, I was feeling this way and I learned this way. And how can I make amends? And going through the step-by-step process of learning from our mistakes is so important that we learn how to do that. So, that was your homework assignment. Y'all have challenges. That's going to help you grow. Let's see, last time we met, we talked about letting go of the need to be right. Okay. We talked about, do you feel like you always have to be right? Financial regrets. Oh my gosh, Rakita. Yes. Why did I do that? Why did I agree? Why did I sign up for that? And I knew I didn't have enough money. I knew it was a mistake. You do have to think about those things. Hey, Mia, how you doing? Welcome. So these are things we need to take into consideration and to, oh, Lord, um, and we do need to reflect on them so that they don't haunt us. We don't have to worry about past decisions that we made that we wish we hadn't made. We want to do the what ifs. How can I make this right? If only, make a list of if only I had known this, I would have done something different. If only, being able to process that. So about 2 weeks ago, and if you want to get the recordings of that, this is that's the link. If you want to get the recordings of some of the content that we have covered in the past couple of weeks about processing your regrets, we have talked about how to say, I'm sorry. We have talked about how to admit when you're wrong, how to accept differences. What are some things you need to do, right? We have also talked about embracing ambiguity. It's really interesting. Y'all need to watch this movie called Conclave. Anyone seen the movie Conclave? And I was just blown away. This guy, he was head of the conclave, and he was the leader of the conclave, and he gave a speech as they were like having the new pope. They were voting on the new pope, and so his job was to give the homily and the mass before they started their shut-in conclave. And his speech to them was, "You're never going to know certainty, and to embrace certainty in the unknown, because that is when your faith is tested." And when you feel like you should know, when you walk around this world feeling as if you know something for sure, indefinitely, and nothing can change your mind, then that is the moment where you're not open and you're not flexible and you're not tolerant. But embracing ambiguity increases your faith. So that's what a challenge for you guys is, to embrace ambiguity. Sometimes you don't know, but you do anyway. You never know what the outcome is going to be. So Arturo says he learned to take time to process regrets. Yeah, it takes a lot of time to be able to process that. Hey, Mia, welcome, Mia. Yes, I see all y'all in here. Okay, so regular people in here, and we got some new people. Let me know if you're new. If you're new to the book club, type in the chat if you're new, and you can still get this book and you can still follow us. We're on page 210. We're on page 210. And so today we are going to cover 3 sections today. The first section we're going to cover is dropping pretense. We're going to talk about what it means to have pretense. The second segment we are going to cover is going to be how to get rid of pouting, how to let go of pouting. Any of y'all pout when things don't go your way? Do you pout like a little child? So today we're going to learn about how to do that. And the third challenge for today is we're going to ask for ego feedback, how to get comfortable asking for feedback. So Linda Gray, you're new. Where you from, Linda? Let us know where you're from. And everybody welcome Linda into the group. Yes, Linda, yes. Okay, it's not too late, never too late to start the book club. So those are the 3 different sections that we are going to cover today. And of course, Linda, you got to get this book, How to Be an Adult in Relationships, The 5 Keys to Mindful Loving. The link is in the chat. If you go to Dr. Alicia Book Club, Dr. Alicia, where is it? bookclub.com/inner circle, and then you'll be able to sign up to get the recordings here. So be sure you can catch up with us with the recordings, and I will post all new content in there each time that we meet. So you don't have to worry. If you miss it, you'll always have it in your pocket. Hi, Sarah, how you doing? From Minnesota. Yes. Yes, welcoming everybody, Sarah. Linda's from Dallas. Oh my gosh, how are you with the floods? I don't know. I have a feeling it's close to Dallas. Dallas had all that rainfall. Jesus, I've been just kind of blown away with an entire camp of praying little girl Christian camp. They all sitting there going to Bible study. Good Lord, going to the Christian camp. Y'all remember those Christian camps your parents would sign you up for? They send their kids off thinking that it's safe, and their children are not safe. It's really a sad thing. Yes, yes. You've been under the weather. Wanetta, keep us updated on how you've been feeling. Take good care of yourself, you guys. Okay, so we're going to talk about dropping pretense, and we will start with on page 210. We will start on page 210. Dropping the pretense. Let's see what David Rico has to say about that. Okay, self-centeredness can be transformed to healthy self-appreciation and self-love, including a healthy desire to let everything we do or say reveal us authentically. Everything we do and everything we say needs to be authentic. Instead of self-centeredness, that can be transformed into a healthy appreciation and self-love. Flaws and all. Remember, we were talking about that. Flaws and all, we still love ourselves. Including a healthy desire to let everything we do or say reveal us authentically. No shame. No shame. Revealing ourselves authentically. We may believe if people really knew me, they would not like me. Actually, this feeling is based not on what we find out about us, but how people find out about us. People dislike us for what they uncover, not about us. Wait, people dislike us for what they uncover, not about us, but about what we hide. So it is what you hide that makes people go, what's going on with you? The fact that you hide it, uncovering something about you, that's what makes people kind of dislike you. They dislike you if you are shameful about something, you try to hide it. Indeed, they like and respect us for our disarming admissions about our limits and inadequacies. So you need to be very self-aware and then talk about what you can do and what your limits are. So, I've never been good at that. So if you walk around with this pretense that everything is so perfect and everything is so wonderful, hiding the fact that it's impossible, and then we uncover, that you have this pretense that you're walking around with. That's when people don't like you. She wasn't even being herself. And we know Black people, I feel like in my, I'm gonna give you an example. I feel like in the Black community, like, I really don't think that Black people have an issue with people who are part of the LGBT plus community. I don't think Black people really have an issue with them so much as those who are undercover. I think that we have a disdain for individuals who are part of that community, but then they walk around and act like they're not. I think that we have more respect for individuals when they are just like, this is who I am. I'm a homosexual, or I'm transgender. It's almost like if they're comfortable with who and what they are, then we're going to be comfortable with it. That's one thing I found. I don't know if y'all think it's true or not. I really find that to be the case when I was growing up. It's almost like being proud about who you were you were less likely to have people kind of make fun of you. I found that to be the truth, like, for real. I found that to be the truth. Okay. So Linda's asking, where's the link for the book? Well, this is the link for recordings. I'll type this in here. That's the link for the recordings of the book club. The book, you have to just like purchase it. I have the paper copy, How to Be an Adult in Relationships, The 5 Keys to Mindful Loving by David Rico. I read from the paper copy, but there's the Kindle copy, there's an audiobook copy, there's all sorts of copies. So thanks for asking that question. Okay, so so they're saying that they like and respect us for disarming admissions about our limitations and inadequacies. Knowing this gives us yet another chance to articulate our truth, a drop in pretense. We then want to be exposed so we can act freely with no further need to invent or protect a self-created image. I don't know if y'all know, but I'm here in Florida because my daughter is on the dance team. And I found that some of the dance moms, I find that we're just kind of getting to know each other, you know? And one of the dance moms, she created a group chat. And in the group chat, she posted a video of a lady complaining about being a dance mom and how expensive it is and how time consuming it is, almost like opening up and revealing this is tough. Because I think before then, all of us as dance moms, we were all kind of walking around pretending like we had everything together, like we got it all figured out and everything is okay. But as soon as we started sharing some of the struggles we had as a dance mom, balancing the competition schedule and our own personal schedule and the schedule of our own children and all the money that we have to spend on it. I think when we all started opening up and talking about our challenges, we all bonded. We started bonding with each other. And not only that, we started helping each other out. You know, I remember like traveling to places and we would get food for each other and take our children out to dinner. And we helped each other a lot because we were vulnerable about our limitations and we helped each other out. So anyway, that's a good example of dropping the pretense. Stop walking around pretending like you got it all figured out. Stop walking around pretending like your relationship is all perfect. There is no perfect relationship. So I think that's what they're saying here. That's ego. Drop the pretense. We hear ourselves say, okay, so when we then want to be exposed so that we can act freely with no further need to invent or protect a self-created image. We hear ourselves say, if people really knew me, they would love me for being an ordinary human like themselves, warts and all, flaws and all. Nobody likes somebody who is a know-it-all. Nobody likes someone who pretends as if their child is so perfect, their life is so perfect. And it is a pretend because it just doesn't even exist. No one likes someone who walks around like that. People, especially Black people, where I'm from Gary, Indiana, and Tuskegee, Alabama. The culture I grew up in is that you are really honored and respected when you just be yourself. So warts and all. So we're all human. Ain't nobody thinking they better than anyone else. That's how I grew up. Okay. So the reason we fear disclosure, the reason why we don't want to admit that we don't have it all together as parents, we don't have a perfect relationship and everything is going all wonderful at the same time. The reason why we fear self-disclosure is directly related to one of the 5 A's. Did you know that? And I like it. Rhonda put the 5 A's in here. The 5 A's of mindfulness that David Rico explains in his book. It's in chapter 1. The 5 A's are attention, acceptance, appreciation, affection, and allowing. Those are the 5 A's of mindful loving. And you have to do all of those. And if you want more in depth on that, you're going to have to get the recordings. And the link for the recordings is in the chat here. I can type it again. That's the link to get the recordings. And we go over them. I may re-record some of the material at the beginning. So we're at the end of the book. I may re-record some of the material just to kind of give a better kind of introduction to those videos. But those are the 5 keys to mindful loving, which is the entire pretense of this book about how to love each other mindfully. And I think that's one thing we need to strive for. So he's saying that we fear self-disclosure because it's related to one of the 5 A's. We fear not being accepted. Acceptance, yes. We fear not being accepted. If we show anything about ourselves that others might consider unsavory or inadequate, we're worried about what other people might think about us. We may have decided early on that to keep those A's coming means hiding what raises eyebrows and showing what brings a smile of approbation. Does the preceding paragraph describe you? What are y'all hiding? What is it that you're scared of letting everybody know about? So he's giving you a challenge. He's saying in your journal, write about some examples from childhood and the recent past. Silently make a commitment to drop pretenses with your loved one, with your partner. Asking yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, I say 1 to 5, how comfortable this prospect feels. So something that you might be embarrassed about, that you might feel uncomfortable disclosing. Write about what that might be. Ask yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable does this feel? This will give you information about your level of trust in the relationship, and share this information with your partner. So, oh my gosh. So he's giving you a challenge. I think I like what David Rico is doing here. He is beginning with the idea of dropping pretense. Drop the pretense, period. Yes, Rhonda. Pretense is like the armor that we wear when we're afraid to be seen for who and what we really are. And that's basically the theme throughout this whole book, about things about ourselves that we're afraid to face and how they show up in relationships. And how it makes it so that it creates a barrier to connection. It shows up. So pretense is the armor that we wear when we're afraid to be seen for who and what we really are. It shows up when we act like everything is fine, when it's really not. You're pretending that you do not care. When we do, we do care, or we're trying to look perfect when we feel anything but perfect. And what David Rico is encouraging us is to shed ourselves of this armor, stop pretending. Yes, Rhonda, drop the pretense, stop pretending. When we do this, we make room for real connection. Just like with the dance moms, we've now bonded because we are like, it took one person to break it. It took one person to say, I'm scared, or one person to say, I don't think I can take this anymore. It took one person to be vulnerable. And then that's how we all start trusting each other. We're all good friends now. We're celebrating a birthday party tomorrow, celebrating someone's birthday by having a party tomorrow. So part of dropping pretense means transforming what he's saying, your self-centeredness, making it all about you, and you have to be seen this way and show up this way, to a healthy sense of self-appreciation, and you just love yourself, flaws and all. So all of us carry this belief, if people really knew me, they wouldn't like me. If they knew this part about me, that they wouldn't like me. If they knew that I didn't have money for stuff, or if I didn't have time for things, or if I'm struggling with something, or if I'm just unable to do something for whatever reason, we feel like people will reject us. But really, the opposite is true. People don't reject you for what they uncover. They disconnect because we try to hide, we try to pretend. And it's none like, I don't know. I just feel like with Black people, we just don't like fake people. You got to be real with us. You got to be real and cool, and or nobody gonna like you anyway. So that's just that, to me, that's the culture where I grew up. That ever happened to you guys? I don't know. That's how it is. People respect and love more when you disarm admissions about your limitation and imperfection. Disarm it. So anyway, so yeah, that's your number one challenge in your journal. Being transparent is a state of power. It really is, Rhonda. It's powerful, and it makes you more human. I'm not a traditional woman, and it's hard for people to accept that sometimes. Well, Mia, I'm not traditional either. And I know there's some people that don't like it. I don't know what to say. The older I get, being real, the older I get. Yeah, I think that's a good point, Linda. I think like back in my 20s, I had a little bit more of a pretense, but now I don't have no pretense. Like, man, I be confessing stuff. So, okay. So in your journals, y'all have to have journals. In your journal, I think this is my husband coming home. Anyway, let me stop being distracted. Okay. In your journals, reflect on a few moments from your childhood or recent past where you wore a mask to feel accepted or safe, perhaps. Make a commitment to drop the pretense with your partner. Ask yourself, the book says a scale from 1 to 10. I like 1 to 5. How comfortable are you with this? And then share your reflections with your partner when you feel like you're ready. And I think it's a good trust building exercise. Y'all think y'all can do this? Trust building exercise. I think that's wonderful. Okay, so if you, again, we'll move on to the next section about letting go of pouting. I just want to say hello to everybody. And there's some people who are just joining me. I just want to let you know, I want to welcome you to the book club. I see some people just joining. I am Dr. Alicia with Coaching with Dr. Alicia. We are reading from this book, How to Be an Adult in Relationships, The 5 Keys to Mindful Loving by David Rico. And we're getting through about ego. This whole chapter on ego is really getting to the nitty gritty of like some of the nuances in healthy relationships, some of the things that we come up against that stops us from continuing in a relationship, that gets in the way from us having a healthy relationship. And David Rico is all talking about letting go of the ego. I know, Rhonda, I don't want the book to end either. I can see it's like a couple of little pages left. He did tell me when I talked to David Rico, he did tell me that he has another book coming out. So I don't know. I'm still thinking about what to do. Maybe while I'm in Ghana, I'll send the survey out of the next book we're going to do, and then I'll take a look at it and try to decide. I don't know. I might use one of my books, but I don't know. I might use one of my books, but I don't know. I haven't decided. I might, or I might not. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do. But anyway, if you want copies, you can go to, you have to get the book, Christina. Dates. Welcome, Christina. Dates, that's a new name. Okay, so there's the book. If you want copies of the recordings, you can go to the Inner Circle, and let's see how everybody is doing in YouTube world. Hey, YouTube, how you doing? I see y'all in here. Okay, so this is, okay, everyone in YouTube, let me put in the link for YouTube to join the book club. Okay, let's continue on. The next section is letting go of pouting, page 211. Okay, letting go of pouting. If you notice yourself pouting like a child, when you do not get your way. Try this 3A program to undo ego entitlement. Undo ego entitlement. Number 1, acknowledge the pouting to the person you are doing it in front of. So you need to become self-aware. You got to know when you're doing it. Acknowledge it. Ask for what you want in a direct and non-demanding way. It's a request. It's not a demand. And you probably should preface that. You should say, there's something that I want from you. And you can say no or yes. You got to give someone permission. You can't bully people. So you have to ask for what you want directly, non-demanding. So you can say, this is an invitation. Not, you better do this or else. That's not nice to treat people that way. Accept the answer yes with gratitude. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate your help, whatever. And no with cheerfulness. No, okay, I appreciate that. I'll go and ask somebody else, or I'll get someone else to do it, but also give that person appreciation as well, because you can't bully people. Or there could be a third option. David Rico didn't put this in here. A third option could be, I'm gonna think about it. Yes, no, and maybe. Let me think about it and I'll get back to you. Whatever it is, you need to be grateful, and you can't pout. What y'all think about that? Ladies, do we do this sometimes, ladies, in relationships? Sneaky little ego defense is pouting. I don't know. I feel like I do find this traditionally with women. They'll pout. Pouting is silent. You have to catch yourself, Mia. Yeah, like pouting is the silent, it's like sulking and you're protesting, almost like your wounded ego. And sometimes when we say, I'm fine, and then what do y'all do? You end up slamming the cabinet door or you go cold when you feel hurt, like passive aggressively making a way of someone. Then that means the other person has to guess what's wrong because you haven't expressed it directly. Yes, Rhonda, pouting delays the time we need to treasure. Yeah, we need to focus on gratitude. Yeah, you got to recognize when you're doing that and stop yourself from doing it. I don't pout, I go off, and then I feel badly and apologize. Well, the mindfulness piece will help you not do that anymore. Like, I think letting go of this pouting, it's a radical thing to do. And it demonstrates emotional maturity, I think, for sure, because it invites us to replace silence with truth and withdraw with still connecting with somebody. And, if you notice yourself pouting like a child, when you don't get your way, he's saying that you need to, acknowledge the pouting to the person in front of you. So, I'm pouting right now. I'm a Leo, I tend to roar. Yeah, so you could say that, hey, I'm a Leo, I tend to roar. I'm just acknowledging that I'm doing this. I really would like for you to have done this. If your answer is no, that's fine. I will get over it, because you're not responsible for someone else's feelings and they're not responsible for your feelings. So it's a good, healthy emotional boundary. And I think that's something to journal about. Describe a moment in your journal when you found yourself pouting. Think about what triggered it. So what was it? I don't know, Jen, you may want to share. What was it for you that made you, Jen or Heather, you guys can type in, what was it that made you pout? What triggered it? How did you react? And on a scale of 1 to 5, how easily do you accept a no? That's something that you might, it could tell you about your sense of entitlement or rejection, or fear of rejection, your sense of entitlement and fear of rejection. Okay, so Jen is saying he didn't ask me first before making a plan for my day, but he was trying to be helpful. Okay, so someone was really trying to be helpful and you didn't appreciate that and it didn't go on your day. It didn't go as planned. So you can ask for what you want. You can ask for what you want in the future, but you don't have to demand it. Okay. I just wanted him to check in with me first. Okay. So you can have a nice, calm conversation about what you wish could have happened. Gosh, it would have been nice if this had happened. Again, if this had gone this way, that would have been nice, but you have to be able to accept it. Okay, Rhonda is saying, in my marriage, we did not go to sleep until we resolved our concerns because you don't know if the morning will bring you back to the quality of living. Yeah, that's a very healthy way to deal with things and to manage your issues, is to get yourselves to talk things out and not sweep them under the rug. That's so important. So important, Rhonda. That's healthy. You were grateful for his helpfulness. Sometimes I need to fall back and relinquish control. Yes, relinquish control and just accept things. Acceptance is the key. Thank you, Jen. Thank you. Okay, so let's move on. Our final section, oh good, we're making great time, is asking for ego feedback. Y'all do that? Y'all ever ask, how am I doing? You ever ask your partner or loved one, how am I doing? Let me drink something. Be careful what you ask. You just might get it. It's a very humbling experience. Okay. So let's see what David Rico is saying. Asking for ego feedback. Okay. Okay. Throughout this book, I have recommended looking for feedback from others about our behavior and attitudes. As spiritually conscious adults, we consider everyone our teacher and no one our competitor. Hello. Thus, to react defensively to feedback means losing out on useful input. To defend how we are is to stay as we are. Well, that's just me. That's just me. Get over it. Hello. To stay as we are. So what is that saying? That means you're not committed to growing. You're not committing to incorporate feedback. It doesn't mean change who you are, but it means think about it, digest it. Okay, to defend how we are is to stay as we are, and it ruins our chances at personal development and intimacy. 2, instead, listen to feedback in such a way as to find a useful truth in it. Nothing is so disarming as receptibility. Receiving feedback willingly soon reveals itself to be a way of receiving more love. Receiving feedback from the person that you love or anybody, wow, is a way of receiving more love. Make a commitment to ask for and open yourself to the feedback of others regarding your ego reactions. Do this silently within yourself and then read aloud to your partner. Woo! I think that is a humbling experience, but it's also transformative practice in mature love, asking for ego feedback. So this means inviting somebody that you trust, especially your partner, to gently tell you how you are showing up in the relationship. I don't know. I think it's almost like having those meetings, those State of the Union meetings about your relationship with your partner. Like, let's just sit down and talk about how we've been doing. So I think some of the questions you might want to ask is, when do you feel I'm trying to be right instead of trying to be kind? That might be a good question. Are there moments when where it feels like I'm being more focused on control instead of connecting. Speaking from a male's perspective, yes, Michael, some people have to make sure that their partner is mature enough to accept that feedback. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So if you know someone that needs to have some maturity, you're going to have to send them this video. Send them a link. Tell them to text love to LO to 87948 and to sign up. And so you guys can start working on some of these things together. What happens if there's a defensive response from my husband, Heather? Yeah, I mean, the thing is that why don't you model for your husband? Sit down, like really, sit down. It's very disarming when you sit down with your husband and ask him, say, what is it about me that you want to see improve? You know, what is it about me that could make this relationship better? Or how can we connect more? Or what is it? And don't you react to it, Heather. How about you demonstrate the proper way to do this? And just be patient. It'll happen. They might not, Michael's saying they might need even more maturity for that as well. Yes. We are all walking each other home. You either learn or you win. Yes. Be the Buddha in your relationship. See, Rhonda's been with us for a while, so she knows. Be the Buddha in your relationship, especially when it's not easy. Yeah. What if your partner doesn't think that deeply about things? They may. You'd be surprised. Maybe you have to keep asking the question. Say, how did everything go? What do you think I could have done better? I think you want to be, and you could even say, I'm working on my own growth. I want to become more self-aware. And I want us to be closer together. I want us to connect more, or I want us to be more intimate. You could say stuff like that. I want us to be closer. And I just want to process, what is it that I'm doing that I'm getting it right, that you want me to continue doing? Or what is it that you'd like for me to adjust? I'm open for that. I'm open for the feedback. I think, I don't know. I think maybe you can even say, I want to be more mindful. You might want to say, hey, I'm reading this book about mindful loving, and it's really interesting. They're saying that we can love each other in a way that's mindful. And I'm getting into the spiritually conscious. I want to be a conscious adult, conscientious. So I think that, modeling for your partner is so important. Like, we recognize that everybody is our teacher. And I say, I don't know, when we react defensively to feedback, I think it's a losing strategy, and you just end up cutting yourself off from intimacy instead of like growing these connections. So that's something for you to think about, what to do. Instead, I think receiving feedback is a way of receiving love. Try it. This is the challenge. Like, remember, every week we have 3 challenges this week. So this is one of the challenges. This is one of the challenges that you do. What he's saying in this book is, start with the silent check-in. Am I opening to hearing something I may not want to hear? Then ask your partner directly. And when they respond, just listen. Receive their truth as a gift. Receive it. Yes, Gail, you can receive this. So try this. We got 3 journal prompts today. Y'all have homework. Homework today to work on. Okay, the first homework assignment, let me see what it is. Let me look in here. Okay, dropping pretense. Okay, so the first homework assignment is to take a moment and reflect from your childhood or recent past where, I don't know, where you felt, wait, what does he say in here? Okay. Give examples from childhood in the recent past in your journal. Silently make a commitment to drop the pretense with your partner. Ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, I say 1 to 5, how comfortable this prospect feels. So what is it from your background in childhood that you feel afraid to self-disclose? Rate that from a 1 to 10. There's a bunch of stuff that I'm ashamed of. Anyway, so write that down. And then on a scale from 1 to 10, but I say 1 to 5, talk about how comfortable you are with sharing this with your partner. That's your first. And then think about sharing it with your partner. So that's the first homework assignment. Your second homework assignment is to pout. Let go of pouting. What you do is you acknowledge the fact that you're pouting to the person in front of you. Ask for what you want, direct, non-demanding way, and be okay if they say no. Say, okay, thank you so much for taking into consideration. I appreciate that. You have to trust other people's autonomy. You can't bully other people. And if they say yes, show gratitude. So that's the second homework challenge. And the last challenge is to ask for feedback and be open for whatever it is. When do you feel that I'm trying to be right instead of being kind, for example? Because we talked about that a few weeks ago. Or, maybe you felt like, when do you feel like I'm trying to be overbearing or controlling and I'm not connecting with you or people? So ask for feedback. So that's your challenge. You got 3 challenges today. This is going to be a challenge. Yes, Jen, you can do it. And you can even say, I'm a Leo. My daughter is a Leo, and trust me. Anyway, I do say no to her. So I don't know. I think this is really kind of cool. We'll stop here. I will be back next week. But then I have to take a hiatus for a little bit. But anyway, I just want to thank everybody for coming in here today. Oh, there's people outside my window. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming in. I appreciate you guys. Your energy today is really nice. The nice, beautiful sun. I can't wait to continue getting out in the sun. Maybe I'll be a little bit more tanned next week when I see you guys. Dr. Alicia, you can also find me on at my website, coachingwithdralicia.com. Don't forget, you can get the recordings of everything. Y'all watch it with y'all husbands, watch it with your wives. It's going to help you be an adult in relationships. It will help you. It won't help you fix all your problems, but it will help you manage them. It'll help you to recognize it, make sense of everything, because we got to get back to mindful loving, I think, and stop pointing the fingers and blaming everybody and just being nasty and evil. But honestly, I think there's a lot of evil going on right now. I don't like some of the things I'm seeing. I don't like it. So yes, I hope that my daughter has a wonderful time competing. Thank you, Marina. Hope she does well in her competition. But listen, she's gonna win or lose. I don't know. I just want her to get out there and have fun on that. We spend a lot of money and time to get here. So I want her to go out and have fun on the dance floor, on the stage. Anyway, so I will see y'all next week. Have fun, and I'll be checking in on your homework assignments. Y'all got to get these homework assignments done. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. See you next week.